Hey, what's up, everybody? Question and answer. Almost everything. I'll be right back. I gotta go get my drink. This fire is blazing. You see how it's done? This is my pro tip. You see this? You know what that is? I have a whole bag full of it. But it's dryer lint. That's how I get my fire going. It's a little out of control right now. Yeah, dryer lint is the perfect fire starter if you got nothing else. Am I talking loud enough? Because it's pretty late here. It's very quiet. I live in a quiet neighborhood. I don't want to talk too loud. But my audio is good. My main reason for coming on here tonight is to let you know I won't be live tonight. I mean, I won't be having a live concert tonight. I'm just going to be doing this. Hey, Jesse. We are just chilling here, just chillaxing tonight. No music. We are gonna do, well, if anybody has any questions for me about almost anything. Robert, California. Hello. For tonight only, I will be answering your questions about, I don't know. I got a drink. Conspiracy music, welcome. Welcome to my backyard. I'm gonna go get some more wood. I'll be right back. Coach's Arms, hello. Honey Bunch, what are you drinking? Tonight I am drinking a gin in a ginger ale. I'm very happy to I finally light this fire pit because I don't normally get the chance. You see, my neighbor who lives over there, he don't like fires, and he might be over in a little while to complain, but everything's good right now. It's very quiet here. I might actually, well, it's kind of dark, but a Timmy mustache. Yeah, I've been thinking about growing my whiskers back early. Hot Frog, good to see you. HVAC, welcome, Mandy, Mandy, Mandy. So, I'm ready for my first question. Let it inspire you to shave. Um, to shave. I've been shaving for months now. I didn't have a beard last week, did I? Does my money jiggle jiggle? You know, Jesse, that is a difficult request. I've listened to that song and I'm trying to figure out what I can do with it. I do have Betty Buns request ready to go. You'll be hearing that next week. What's the matter with coachisms? Oh, he's just jealous. I think I can show you some flowers, and I can show you some creepy crawling thing. Maybe. Let me check. All right, the creepy crawlers are not out tonight. It's been very dry here. Let me switch my camera around. All right. So here we have some begonias. I got some red ones and pink ones. Hello, Addie. And this is a clip-in from my, what's it called? I think it's Agent Orange. It was growing higher than my fence, so I had to cut the top of it off. And now I have it here. Hopefully it will grow roots, and that will be my fall plant, indoor plant. And this is an impatient that I clipped. This is some lilies that I still haven't put in the ground. I've had this for like a few years now in this pot. Okay. Here are some more impatiens, sun patients, and my gnomes. Yes, I do a lot of gardening, but I mostly just grow flowers. I don't grow too many vegetables, tomatoes. Last year I grew like a huge eggplant, but I mostly like flowers. I have to stream during the day to show you my whole yard. It's not really a great year here. Let me get my flashlight. I'll show you the plant that was like growing above the fence. Look at that. It's like over my head. This is what's left of the foxgloves. I'm just letting the stalks remain to seed some new plants for next year. All right, back to the fire. The buds will be starting in August, usually. It won't stop budding until we get down to 12 hours of daylight or below. And so usually that's like in August. Yes, I love music and I love plants. Yeah, this was my first year with the foxgloves. I started them last year. Hold on, I hear some noise. I hope it's not my neighbor coming after me. It's like a whole process just to flip the camera around on this thing. Oh no, it's my neighbor, but I don't think it's the neighbor that complains. I just want to go take a look. All right, so my favorite song to play, it's always change. It changes from week to week. Um, Usually it's like the latest song that I've either wrote or learned is always my favorite to do because it gets old playing the same songs all the time. And well, you guys don't have a lot of questions. Um, uh, what was it right now? You see, every week, you notice my set list changes from week to week, and it's because of that. I don't want to do the same stuff every week, and it's usually I get into a mode where I pick up the guitar, I'll just start playing the same song or the same group of songs, and that'll last about a week or whatever, and then I'll learn something new, and it'll inspire something else, and then it's like that's why I forget a lot of the songs that I've covered in the past, and when I watch my old streams, I don't remember how I did that. Um, it just depends on my mood from week to week. It's always a changing, and I don't really have a great attention. I don't know why, Addy. I'm kind of like I'm an old man, I grow plants, and I don't usually get to do this. I told you because my neighbor. Um, and so it's nice. It's nice to sit out here, but it's a beautiful night tonight. Oh yeah, that's a great idea, Betty Bun. Shed with the fire pit. What else can I talk about? You're not giving me a lot of ideas. You see, I thought that you'd have some great questions for me. I can talk about a lot of stuff, you know. I just I'm just there's certain things I'm not going to talk about, but I'm pretty much open to discuss anything. I know like a little bit about everything. I know a lot about nothing. You know, I was thinking of because my shed is a little bit it's dilapidated, and I was thinking if I build a new shed or had somebody build a new shed, it would be kind of awkward because I got some critters that live under the shed, and it's a really bad situation to try and grow flowers and plants with woodchucks living in your yard, and there's like a whole family of them under the shed, and there's some more behind that fence that live behind the fence, and I hate them. I have nightmares about them invading my home. What was Hannah's question? I do have a lot of ideas, and when I first started live streaming, I used to talk a lot about things I was gonna do and then not do them. So I decided like not to talk about anything until I'm ready to do them. But there's one thing for sure I would like to do more artwork on my channel. Um, spray painting, drawing. Um, I haven't been doing a lot of that in a while. It's like I go back and forth between the music and artwork, and I did the artwork for years, and then I started doing this live stream and got back into the music and kind of like put the artwork aside. And I would like to do that. I have an idea for a series of videos called Space Capades, where I do like out of space paintings. Like if you've ever seen like street space painting with spray paint, I can do that. Um, I do want to take you all on a field trip. Well, how much wood do those woodchucks chuck? Well, woodchucks don't chuck wood. They eat my plants. And that's the problem. And I've thought about poisoning them, and I just can't bring myself to do that. Yet, at least I always say like one more time, and I'm putting the pellets down, and then I think about what how they would die if I poison them. It's a difficult situation here. How old are you? Well, if you really must know, I'm 47. Wait, yeah, I'm 47 years old. They just want to get high. You know what? They don't like those plants. They don't eat nothing really eats uh nothing eats what do you call them? Agent Orange. There's no beetles that eat that. They eat everything else. But oh, the caterpillars like Agent Orange. Hello, Leah. I will be right back. I have to run in the house for a minute. It really is a beautiful night tonight. I'll put more wood on the fire for you before I don't know where those caterpillars came from because I don't see them on anything else but was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. I think I had a plant growing and I brought it inside to dry out, and I had all these little green caterpillars coming down on webs and like a little strand, like a spider, and they bite too. I had one like on my neck for a while one day. I didn't know it. I kept like itching. I kept getting like a sting in my neck, and it was like one of those little green caterpillars. All right, I'll put some wood on the fire for you. I wish I had some music, but I have to run in the house real quick. I'll be right back. Is Miss Kitty here? Hello, Miss Kitty. We are just hanging out by the fire, and if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them. Alright, here's a question, right? And do you have black flies where you are? Oh no, no, we don't have them. Yeah, like I'm like pretty close to Rhode Island, but I have heard of those flies from people who have hiked the Appalachian Trail. You see, there was a time I was thinking about doing it, so I did a lot of research on the Appalachian Trail, and I had a lot of advice about planning your trip so you're not in that area of Maine, I guess New Hampshire, when it's like fly season, because they are brutal. Top 3 movies. I like, I don't know, I like Mary Poppins a lot. Um, oh, you know what? I got a story for you. But Mary Poppins. What else? Well, I don't have 3, but I'll give you a list of some of the movies that just off the top of my head. Mary Poppins, Pump Up the Volume, The Magnificent Seven, the original Magnificent Seven. Well, maybe I'll just give you 3. Because, like, do y'all remember Pump Up the Volume with Christian Slater? That is one of my favorite movies, and it reminds me of like live streaming. It was like kind of like live streaming before the internet. Was when Melton John was talking about it the other night. It's kind of like CB radio. All right, I'm getting lost here. Where was I? I'm like all over the place. I'm looking for questions. I know I might have missed some. I saw somebody. Where are we? Oh, you know what? I have all these like pine trees hanging over. They're not on my property, but there's a whole line of pine trees behind me. It's getting kind of smoky. But my neighbor got a deal, $3,000 to remove all the pine trees, and just on my stretch, there's like about 5 here. I mean, they're huge, but his property goes down like 3 properties down, so there's got to be at least 10 pine trees that he got a price of $3,000 to remove them, which will be good for me because I don't have to worry about them falling on my house. I've had 2 since I've lived here fall through the fence and had to repair the fence. Addie, did you hike the Appalachian Trail? A part of it? Hey, what happened? Oh, yeah. Oh, that sucks. I pump up the volume. Yeah, I don't know if I'd put it in the top three, but it was just one of my favorites that come to mind. And see my DVDs, I put them in order by the category of movie, and but then I put all my favorites together. I try to get all my favorite movies on DVD. Um, there was one that I was just thinking about that I would like to watch again. I like Conan the Barbarian too. That was a good one. Oh yeah, that reminds me of the movie story I have. A Christmas Story is a great movie. Honey Bunch has never seen Christmas Story. What brought you to the boy? I'll tell you the whole story of how I ended up on the boy. It started by watching storm chases. I think, yeah, yeah. Well, like when there were like hurricanes and these people that would drive into hurricanes and do like live streaming um, from hurricanes, and I think just from watching that, after like the storm was over, it was like I would be like kind of down because it was like nothing to watch, and I guess I just got addicted to watching anything that was live. And then one day I was searching about like makeup, how to apply makeup and stuff, and I think Rosie might have did a video or something. Somehow I came across Rosie's channel, and I didn't really get into, like, I watched her. She was on the beach, I think, hanging out on the beach. I watched like a few of her videos, and I just had like this feeling from watching Rosie. When I first my first impression of Rosie was that I saw like all these people like watching her, and she's in like this one of her Dorito bikinis, and I just thought it was like, how do you get like all these views? And I just had like this impression that all her subscribers and everybody watching her was just, it was just a bunch of dirty old men just like checking her out. And so I shut it off, and then I don't know, sometime later I got a suggestion, and I had to been because I watched Rosie. It was Elvis Travels, and I don't remember what he was doing. He had like his hair in like the greaser mode, looking like the Elvis impersonator thing, and he was walking around an empty parking lot, and he kept talking about oh, what's his name there, his buddy, the what's the guy's name? Anyway, it led me to Elvis Travels. I started watching him, And then I started looking up like old videos on Elvis and Rosie and saw like the tie-in, and it just like I don't know. I really I think what kept me with the watching was like the nomad stuff. I like the nomad aspect of it, like Elvis travels and well, who else? Goats. Anybody that lives in a vehicle and drives around like that is like very interesting to me, and I would actually be doing that right now if I didn't have this place. I have a really good deal here, and but if I didn't, yes, I would be living in a van. Thanks for being here, Miss Kitty. Oh, it keeps like jumping to the bottom. I'm trying to go in order now. Am I really that far behind? All right, we're back. Talking about Christmas story. Hey, Jen, it's a great deal. And he was like asking us about it, like $3,000. Do you think that's a good deal? Like that's a great deal for these. I mean, just to take one of these down. I mean, you should see these things. All right, wait. This is like a pain in the ass. Yeah, that would be great. Like, they probably cover this area too. You know, I haven't seen any lightning bugs this year, and it's kind of weird. I think they do too much spraying for like mosquitoes and stuff, and they kill everything. I've been finding like dead bumblebees everywhere. All right, I'm getting there. Huh. Hey, you know what? Y'all can say what you want about Elvis Travels, Elbow, but if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be doing this right now. That's the truth. Because I always wanted everything to be perfect before I started. I always wanted to live stream, but you know, I was waiting for like the perfect time. But watching Elvis, I just realized it really doesn't matter. Who cares? That's right. I am the cool Chris Bliss. Cool Chris Bliss. I'm glad you finally realized that. That the chat keeps jumping to the last comment. Here we go. Here's a question. My musical influences. Well, as you can probably tell by watching me, I have a lot of musical uh, influences. I was born in 1975, and my parents were kind of like of like the hippie generation. My dad was kind of like a hippie. My mom was very was kind of a nerd, and my mom was into like, well, I started really listening to music by listening to my parents' record collection, and my mom was into a lot of the boy bands from the 1960s. I know she had like a lot of Dave Clark 5 and all the early Beatles albums, and that kind of stuff. And my dad was he was kind of like he played guitar, like acoustic guitar, and he was really into like the folk music of like that time. But then there were also a lot of like just standards that he had, like Rolling Stones and the Doors. But that's where it all started. And my grandparents were big into like country music. My uncle was in a country band. Um, but my family all like my grandparents' generation, they all played instruments. Um, my uncle was a singer and guitarist for his own band. He did a lot of country, a lot of 19 like 50s, 60s rock, and my grandparents on my the other side were kind of like Portuguese, into like Portuguese music. Um, but I have a lot of influences. Ween, the band Ween, was a big, let's say, and it was an influence, but also a sort of like an inspiration to stop making music, because I didn't when I started making music, I didn't know anything about it, and I listened to bands like Ween, and I just was inspired because it felt like you didn't really have to have you didn't have to know what you were doing to make music. I'll think of some other influences as my mind works. Being born in 1975 was a big influence on me, in that 1976 was the bicentennial of America. And so my first impression and views of the world, what everything had was like red, white, and blue. Everything was patriotic. I first went to trip to Disney World was in 1976 when I was a one, and everything was set up for the a bicentennial. And believe it or not, I was 1 years old, but I still have like memories of going to Disney World in 1976. I think it was because of the parade, the bicentennial parade, and I think that was a big influence on my beliefs as an American. I yeah, I love America, and I hate Canada. Moses Malone. Like sometimes I'll write music. I'll like the song Sugar. When I wrote Sugar, I wasn't even like I didn't even have it in my head that it was already a song by the Archies. It sounded kind of familiar to me, but I just went with it and I wrote the whole song and recorded it, and then I heard the Archie's version of Sugar and like, wow, that's where I got it from. And that happens a lot, where it's just like the music gets stuck in your head and then you forget about it, but it's still in your head somewhere. And when you go to you start like creating something, it's like those melodies or words come out. Um, so it can be really anything. Anything I've ever listened to, everything I've ever heard in my life really has influenced me, whether good or bad. Oh, wow. You didn't tell me the fire was going out. Now it's like all smoky now, and the neighbor's gonna complain. Wait, wait, wait. What's the story behind your 3 rings? The rings on my fingers? I have 4 of them. I have 2 here. There's no like real story about I like wearing rings. This one is a some kind of like crusader, like holy crusader. It's got a cross on it. And same with this one. I don't know. I just like wearing rings. There's no stories. Okay, Betty Bond, what was your question? I'm trying here. I can only see like 3 comments at a time. And if I start talking about one, then it's like I get behind, and then it snaps back to the latest comment. Betty Bun, ask your question again. I wrote Sugar in 1996 or thereabouts. No, maybe earlier. Maybe earlier. Mid 90s. It was the first song I recorded, not the first song I wrote. The first song I like, not just like I recorded like other stuff just with like a tape recorder, but I mean actually like made like a real recording with like multi-track recording and stuff. And I got a 4-track recorder. The Sugar was the first one I did, but it was like mid 90s. When I first started playing, that's all I really did. I had a lot of songs that I just kind of let fade away. Someday I'll go through my old tapes and pull out um, all this stuff that I was working on and rework it. All right, here we go. Best concert. I've been to a lot of great concerts. The first one that jumps out to me, it's not probably not the best concert that I've been to, but the experience was like the first time I saw the Grateful Dead. I was I was going to school in Boston. I went to Northeastern University. Uh, yeah, I was going to Northeastern for electrical engineering, and the Grateful Dead were playing at the Boston Garden, the old Boston Garden, not the new one. And I I went to the show. I bought tickets from a scalper, and it was my first time seeing the Grateful Dead. But it was the best time that I saw them because it was like it was a new experience for me, and they played like mostly like a lot of my favorites. They opened the second set, I think, with Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and they closed the show with Not Fade Away by Buddy Holly, and the fans kept that beat going by clapping as they walked off stage, and they came back on and played Broke Down Palace, which at the time was my favorite Grateful Dead song. I'm trying to think the best concert. That was just one that jumped out at me. Like, I don't know. I'll come back to that question in a second, as my brain is like slow sometimes. I'll think of other best concert. You know, there's been like some bands that I've seen that I wasn't even really a fan of, but then I saw them live, and it was like some of the best shows I've seen were like that. Like Rush was one of them. When I saw Rush, I mean I liked them, but I just wasn't big into Rush. But that was a pretty amazing show. Midnight Oil was another surprise too. When I saw Midnight Oil play, it was like another band. I knew They're sort of like a one-hit wonder, but they were great. Midnight Oil is still probably not the best. Oh, Dick Dale was pretty awesome live. Oh, we got the doctor in the house. Judas Priest. I wish I had seen Judas Priest. Melanie. Melanie, are you talking about the singer, Melanie? I think my dad had a couple of her records. Yes, Utterly and Love. That was another great show. I'm just trying to think, like, what if I had to pick like one, like what is the best concert? Or maybe if I could relive a concert that I've been to, what would it be? Hello, Johnny. I brought my stylophone. The battery's probably dead on it, but I just wanted to. It's loud. You know what? What was a lot of fun was seeing the Grateful Dead in Highgate, Vermont. It's like way up there. It's like almost in Canada, Highgate, Vermont. It was just out in the sticks, and the Grateful Dead, and their last year's playing together, did at least 2 or 3 shows there. I went to 2 of them, but I went to one, and it was, I don't know if it was the night of the show or the day before or like both, but it was like the most drugs I've done in one all together at once in one time. I mean, besides like the regular stuff like alcohol and weed, it was like I ate mushrooms and smoked PCP, and that was like really big. The fire's about to die. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever smoked angel dust before, but if you mix that with mushrooms, PCP is spelled the same backwards. It is PCP. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. No, that's just the experience I had that night. I was actually like, I don't really like dance. Like, I might move a little bit when I'm playing music, but wow, that day I was dancing. I was jumping through the fire. I have no idea what angel dust is. I just like I would at the time I would do anything. Didn't really matter what it was. Oh, thank you, Jen. Um, do you ever want to do leg kicks when you play? I have a different style. I have a different style uh, when I play. I mean, you see me like in my Chris Bliss persona. I like, I'm more into like posing. Like, if it's just me playing guitar in a band, then it's more about like, um, I'm more of a, more of a yoga guitar player than I am a calisthenic guitar player. Black tie heroin. I don't even know what that is. I don't know if you're making a joke, but that was like heroin is like one thing that I would never try. Yeah, Honey Bunch was supposed to come on panel today. Oh, we'll do that another time. I was gonna have some people on panel tonight, but I'm kind of liking. Well, I'm like this. I'm still thinking about the concerts I've been to. All right, that's right. I don't really do anything anymore. I don't even really drink much. Um, and like I do like psychedelics, but it's kind of like it's not easy to come across that stuff as it was. It used to be. It used to be everywhere, and now it's like I wanted to like trip. Um, this was like a couple of years ago, I think, and I don't know where you get like stuff like that. And so I used seed morning glory seeds, and it works, but it's like it's kind of gross. And well, if you don't prepare it right, um, there's a way of like boiling the seeds and getting the a psychoactive ingredient out of it, But like the first time I did it, I just took the seeds and I don't know, it was like maybe like 400 seeds or something. I just chewed on them and it was like, it made me sick, but it was a good time. And then you stop. I didn't actually like really, I taught myself to play guitar and it was pretty much, I think it was after I graduated from high school. I graduated in 93 and that was like around the time I got my first like electric guitar. I grew up with like an acoustic guitar in my bedroom as a kid. That was my father's that he gave to me like when I was born, and he bought a Martin and he gave me like his old like beat up guitar. And as a kid I would always pick it up and but I only knew like like the basics. Like I could play Iron Man and Smoke on the Water and Wipeout, all like the one string stuff. But it was like, it wasn't until after high school that I actually got serious and like taught myself how to play guitar. And I learned by doing Lemonheads. I had a Lemonheads sound book, and that was how I learned to like actually play and sing together at the same time, was by doing that. And some Nirvana songs, Lemonheads and Nirvana. Yeah, they do. They make you sick to your stomach, but like I said, they work. So it's like, and it's also you'll feel like 1 minute like you're tripping like really hard, and then like 10 minutes later like you're totally sober, and then like 5-10 minutes later like you're looking at something and you realize, oh, I'm it's kind of like a roller coaster ride. Whereas like if you take acid, it's just like you peak and then you come down. But morning glory seeds aren't like that. It's more like it's all over the place. The Lemonheads, I've seen them a couple times live. Um, when you're like 20 years old, back in the day, 20 years old, the Lemonheads was a great place to go to pick up chicks because it was all like their fans were all girls, so it was fun. have seen a fish a couple times. I'm not a big fish fan. I'm not really a big like jam band fan, except for like the Grateful Dead. I like um the thing with like Fish, they're like great musicians and everything, but they um they sort of give me anxiety. You know, it's like they play and they play and they play and it's just like they keep building and building and building and building, and there's nothing at the end of that. It just keeps going and going and going. Whereas like the Grateful Dead, they'll like build and build, and they'll have like a crescendo, and then they give you some relief, and then they go into something else. They make it interesting, but the Fish aren't interesting to me. I do like some of their songs. I did like a Picture of Nectar was a good. There was some good songs on there, but the one with like the black and white cover, I forget what the name of it was. I like the songs on there. The one that had David Bowie, the song David Bowie. Oh, the field trip. Um, I'm probably gonna go to Newport, Rhode Island. Um, Newport is like one of my favorite places around here because I like local history, and Newport is just like layered with history, um, from pirates to well, it started out as a pirate town. It's the original Sin City. Newport, Rhode Island is. There's a lot to see. But I'll wait to tell you about the history of Newport and stuff like that, and the pirates and vampires and all that. Yeah, that's right, Jen. And now I have a real job. I'm not that music is a real job, but it's not what I do for a living. I wish it was, but it's not. I was in a band for a little while where I made pretty good money playing banjo. They were called the Hula Hillbillies, and we had a manager, and we got good amount of money to play, and we mostly did like fairs and festivals and stuff. Jack White. Who is Jack White? What band is he in? What is something you can tell us about? There's a lot I could tell you about Honey Bunch, but I'm not gonna do that. What do you mean, the White Stripe? Oh, is that where Jack White is from? I don't know. I don't know. Like, Alright, you're kind of confusing me. Blackjacks. And the Blackjacks, Timmy, that was a band that me and Corey LaFleur were gonna form. I think we were gonna be called the Blackjacks. We were an oi punk rock band. But I don't know. Who was it? Jack White? Oh, the White Stripes. I don't know them. Whoa. He made an album with Loretta Lynn. I don't know about the White Stripes. I just like I think like I probably heard stuff by them, but they just always like seem too wimpy. I don't know. Maybe they're not wimpy. I don't know. Maybe they're not wimps. I really don't know. But that's just sometimes like when it comes to certain music, if it's like I don't really like people like lollygog with the music, especially like if it's gonna be like a kind of like punk band. Like really, like there's no wimps. There's no wimps in rock and roll. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look now. Here we go. Now, who's this guy, Danny O? Your take on UFOs and aliens. That's what I've been waiting for. Now we're gonna get into the good stuff. I'll be right back. All right, Jesse, it could be a little while before I get to your question about the Indian lady. So, we're going to talk about UFOs now. We're going to talk about aliens, government conspiracies. I am a long time listener to Coast. It kind of sucks now, but it was great. It was really great when Art Bell used to host the show. It was his show. But I've been listening since like that 1990s, and I try to sum up how I feel about the aliens. And first of all, I just want to hide that. I watched this movie. I think. I think I don't really want to talk about politics, but it kind of like when you talk about aliens, it kind of overlaps into into politics. I'm getting other questions here. Um, what was the name of the movie? Unacknowledged. Unacknowledged. Dr. Stephen Greer, I believe. I watched that movie, and I have always been a well, I won't say what party I was affiliated with, or where my previous political views were, but they all changed when I watched that movie because I realized that I don't. There's so much to talk about. I think that the aliens that we're dealing with, as far as like the Roswell crash, that's what really started everything happening in current government in the United States was the Roswell crash. It changed everything. It changed everything. And I believe that I don't think they came from outer space. I don't think they're extraterrestrial. I think they're interdimensional travelers. I think what happened was when we detonated an atomic bomb, it affected other dimensions because it was at an atomic level and it disrupted their dimension. I'm trying to sum this up and make it as short as possible. I believe that they came here from another dimension to stop us from detonating another atomic or nuclear weapon. And all this talk lately of like nuclear weapons, it's not going to happen because they will stop it from happening because it will mess us up, but it will mess them up too. There's like an overlap somehow into other dimensions. All right, let's I'd seen another question. Oh, about the Annie the mannequin was the ambassador of my studio in Fall River that I used to have. It's called the Tomorrow Gallery, and Annie was the ambassador. And now she's moved here to the slab with me. Simon, welcome. But I've seen another question here. My favorite holiday. I think Christmas is my favorite holiday because I like singing Christmas songs, and there's a lot. I like all the Christmas stuff, like things you do. Christmas is my favorite. I think I'll probably watch it at home. The new Elvis movie. I've heard like good and bad about it, but did you see it, Jesse? A song that you listen to that soothes you. I don't know. I really don't listen to music for it to be like soothed. I think if I'm feeling down about something, then I usually like my I just go to like Johnny Cash, because he understands. Oh, you're gonna see it. Yeah, let us know what you think because I've heard good and bad about it. You like how I kept the alien talk short, right? That you thought I was gonna talk all night about aliens. You work out, bro? Yeah, I go to work. That's that's how I work out. I have a very physical job. Um, I don't know. Like, there's so much I could say about aliens, but it's like it's a rabbit hole, you know. I was just giving my opinion about saying like there could be oh, we could talk about the moon. I believe, you see, the moon was put there artificially. I believe it's hollow, and now I say that I believe that the aliens are interdimensional, not extraterrestrial. That don't mean that there ain't no aliens coming here from outer space. I didn't say that. There could be, but I'm saying like I'm talking about the Roswell crash and how it affected the the government. Eventually turned into like the military industrial complex was all started by, I believe, interdimensional beings. Now, the ones that are on the moon, that put the moon there, um, I don't know. I don't know where they came from, and I don't know like why or what. But I just know that that is not natural. Well, that is there's a lot of proof. There's a lot of evidence. Just proof. Like it's a well-known a fact. They are manipulating the weather. Why is the question? Like nobody, no, I haven't gotten the answer as to why they're manipulating weather, but they surely are. Um, they're putting all kinds of stuff into the atmosphere, and there's like pictures and video of like the nozzles attached to not just like these aren't just like military jets, but commercial airliners are doing this, and I heard that like it there's like pamphlets and stuff being like passed around by pilots, the commercial pilots that are like talking about, but nobody wants to speak out about it because they don't want to lose their job. But they leave things like in break rooms and stuff about like what's going on. But I don't know why are they doing that? Hurt as a 9 Inch Nails, right? Yeah, he does a great cover of that. That's a that's like one of those songs I listen to. It's like I can feel it. Like he knows, he feels it. Defense Advanced Research. DAPA. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's definitely going on. The rationale behind it, I don't know. You'll retire. Um, I hope so. I hope someday that I get to retire. I don't know. I'm not sure that I will live that long. I'd rather just like somehow, um, I don't know. My dream is to be like one of these like a snowbirds, like goats, where you go down to Florida in the winter time and you come back up here in the summertime. that would be great. And if I had the money for it, I would have like a place in Florida and a place up here, and a camper van to travel back and forth and travel around. I do, I do live near Indians. There's not a lot of them left. Oh, the aliens that I was talking about were I was the ones that I was saying are here from another dimension. They are here to stop us from detonating another uh, atomic bomb. So I think when you split the atom or you split the nucleus, I think like there are other dimensions within our space, and they're just vibrating at different frequencies. When you think about like the makeup of a molecule, and you have like the protons and what is it? Protons and neutrons. You have a nucleus. If this like the end of this stick, if that's the nucleus, the um the proton might be like, I don't know, like miles out that way. There's a lot of space in between. So there's plenty of room for other matter to be vibrating at a separate frequency, but within the same space. And then when you split one of those, I don't know, I just feel like it goes over into other dimensions and it messes with their world. And so they traveled and or like however they got here. I think they're definitely here to stop us from not to save us, but to save themselves. Yeah, someday. I've been reading the same book for a while since I did the punk rock show with Bimbo Barbarella. I've been reading Please Kill Me, which is an oral history of punk rock. And oh, what else was I reading? I tend to like sleep with a stack of books, and it's tough for me to make it through a whole book without starting another book before I do, and then I never really go back. Oh, thanks, Dan. what do I do on the weekends when I don't go live? That reminds me of a story that there was a movie that I wanted to talk about. I will in a second. And that's another story. I have met the devil in another dimension. Um, I'm not sure if I'm going to be telling that story because it's very graphic and it's not suitable for for YouTube. I don't think there's some like pornography involved. Yeah, I've I'm a lucid dreamer. And if you know anything about lucid dreaming, I believe it's a way to visit these dimensions. And the other way is with that drug. What is it, like DMT or something like that? But if you're a lucid dreamer, um, you can basically slip out of your body and go into to visit some strange places I've been to, and that's where I met the devil. I mean, I didn't meet the devil, but the devil came for me. But that's like, I don't know if I want to get into all the Satanist stuff. I do. I have a lot of books, and I like reading, but like I said before, like I don't really have like a good attention on things. Like I'll get like really deep into something, and then that'll last for like a week or two, and then it'll be like something else, and that I'll go crazy about, and that's all I think about for a while. Yeah, I met the devil. I don't know. I might. I don't know. I know that story. I know that story. And I've heard that story many times. Yes. I had a cousin who lived in the basement, and I don't know if it was the devil, but there was something down there. Fireside Chat. Thanks, Betty Bun. All right. Oh, are they talking about flamingos? Oh, so last week, I was it last week? Yeah, I wasn't live last week, and I decided I was gonna watch a movie on Netflix, and so I watched this movie. I didn't know. I didn't know. I'd never heard of it before. I just saw it on there. It's called Unfriended. Unfriended. And I just saw like the screenshot for it, and it just had like a short summary. But I just thought it was interesting because it was about um, basically an unwanted guest online. These kids having a like a Zoom meeting panel and sort of getting trolled by somebody. And the interesting part about the movie is that the whole movie is just this girl's computer screen. That's all you see for the whole movie. It's just her screen, and she's on panel with her friends, and she's like texting um, her boyfriend and looking up things. She has different windows open, and yeah, I just thought that was like kind of interesting to like make a whole movie like that. And I watched it, and I had like these craziest nightmares afterwards, and they were nightmares combined with sleep paralysis. I don't know if any of you have ever had a sleep paralysis. You'll know what I'm talking about. It's very scary. Um, you wake up in your sleep. You see, like what I have is the opposite of or like people that sleepwalk. When you go to sleep, your motor skills are shut off, and so that you don't act out your dreams or nightmares and hurt yourself. Your motor skills are shut down. And the people that sleepwalk, that don't work so well, and they end up acting out what they're doing in their dreams, and they stop moving around. And me, it's like the opposite. It's like my motor skills shut down, and I'll wake up, and they won't turn back on, and it's very scary. It's just like being paralyzed. It's also known as the old hag syndrome because it's usually accompanied by an old woman like giggling behind you, that or some sort of like evil entity is there with you when you have this experience. At least like almost every time I've had it, I can hear like laughing behind me, but I can't move my body to see and look. I can just hear it and feel the presence of something there. And that's what happened after that. After watching that movie, I had that like experience. It was really bad, and I was like trying to get myself to move just to wake myself up so the nightmares would stop. And I kept having this reoccurring dream where it's like I would dream I was waking, like I'd get up off the couch and go into the kitchen, and then suddenly I'd realize I'm still stuck in the dream. I'm still sleeping, and I would go back, and then it would be like in my body trying to get out, and then it kept happening like over and over. I'd wake up and think, finally, I woke up. I can like go to bed because I was like sleeping on the couch. And then I'd realize like I'd see like a tiger in my house and realize, oh, I'm still in this nightmare. Yeah, it doesn't happen often. I used to read a lot about dreams and lucid dreaming, and I practiced it. Like I figured out ways to induce lucid dreams, and just so I could like experience and like explore different worlds. Oh, it's cool, man. It's just something that happened to me my whole life since I was a kid. But it doesn't happen often. I'm at a YouTube subscriber. No, not the ones that I've already knew, like people. No, portals. I think that Well, if there's other dimensions, then there are probably portals, right, to get to the other place. They say that there's certain elements that contribute to that, like quartz, I think is one. And I don't know if you've ever been to like Asheville, North Carolina. Oh, Jesse probably knows Asheville. There's places like out in the desert where I think there's a lot of quartz, and that's where people go for like weird stuff like that. And I don't know. When you say portal, it always reminds me of like the Masters of the Universe cartoons. They'd go like through like this window and get like stuck somewhere else. Oh, all right. So I told you about like lucid dreaming. Now, for those who don't know, lucid dreaming is when you become aware or conscious in your dream. You know it's a dream, and then like some people like fly around, or you can like, you become like a superhero because you know it's all a dream, and you can do whatever you want. And I was having one, it was similar to the one I had the other day where it was like I was just in the house. Like I would just like wake up and like walk around the house. And I don't know if I was having like an out of body because it was just like me in the house. There was like no dream. There were no other people in the dream. It was just me in the house. And I was kind of like stuck in that state. And it's weird because you want to wake up, but you can't. And the way my bed is, my bedroom's at the end of the hall, and the wall at the end of the hall has this big mirror, and I have all my paintings hanging in the hallway. I don't know, I don't quite remember the reason for it, but I think I was just getting like frustrated that I was like I couldn't wake myself up, so I started grabbing. Now this is all happening in a dream. My body is lying in bed. I'm in the hallway looking at the paintings on the wall, and I start taking the paintings one by one and just throwing them into the mirror. And they would hit the mirror, and the mirror would like slow it down, but it would go straight through the mirror and fall on the floor inside like the mirror. Like if you're like looking at the reflection of the hallway in the mirror, so I'd throw the paintings, they go through the mirror and drop. And so I thought like, well, what would happen if I go through the mirror? And so I got a head start. I went to the other end of the hallway, and I ran down the hallway, and I dove. This is what I normally do when I'm lucid dreaming. Anyway, like if realize I have a lucid dream, I'm usually like in my bedroom because it's like an out of body, I guess. And I just get a running start and I dive through the window. It doesn't matter if the window's closed, if the blinds are closed. I just dive right at it and I kind of morph right through the window and stop flying. And then I go looking for something to do. But this time I just wanted to wake up. I just wanted the dream to end. And I was throwing the paintings through the mirror, and I got a running start. I ran down the hallway, and just like I did in all my other dreams, I put my hands out to go through the mirror, and I just hit the mirror and I fell on the floor. Like it didn't work for me like it did the paintings, but I thought like, all right, that's one try. Let's try this again. Went to the other end of the hallway, and I ran. I dove like headfirst into the mirror, and I just slowly like drifted through the mirror into the other side and fell flat on the floor. And then I woke up. So it was almost like I went through a portal. And the funny thing is, like, on the other side of that wall is my bed where my body is. So it's kind of interesting that I dove to where my body was, and I woke up. So is it an out of body? I don't know. No, the stuff I'm talking about is common. It's not like it's nothing weird. Oh, is Tupac here? Or did we just get a drive by? Oh, well, there you are. A good evening, Mr. White Tupac. Yo, it is wild. But everyone has like like most people just forget their dreams in the morning. Your favorite trip? Well, like a drug-related trip. I was like probably the first time I took acid. Um, the friends I was with, I felt like Dorothy in A Wizard of Oz. I had a friend who kind of looked like a scarecrow. He was the one that was driving, and then like I had two friends in the back seat, and they reminded me of like those monkeys, the flying monkeys from Wizard of Oz. They were really annoying. I liked the scarecrow guy, and we went to the mall, and there was the Emerald Mall, and I think it was in Attleboro, Emerald Mall. So it felt like we were going to like the Emerald City, and I was like with the but like um my my sleep my sleep experiences have been there's so many. I feel like I met God one time, and I didn't know it was like supposed to be God, but it was like a homeless bum living under an overpass, but sitting by a fire. And I didn't realize until I woke up that it was God. Chris Bledsoe. No, I don't. I don't know. Oh wow, this has been like going on for 2 hours. Yeah, I'm gonna be wrapping this up soon, but in about 10 minutes, I'll put a little bit more on the fire, and then call it a night. Like 15 minutes, but I'll be back to wrap up my thoughts in a moment. Stay tuned. It's a dry island. So it's funny that the only reason that I went live tonight was to tell you all that I wasn't going live. Oh, and I will be doing a music show next Saturday night. It's summertime here, so there's a lot going on, and I had to like change my not change my schedule, but change my YouTube, my live streaming schedule a little bit. Um, Thanks, Jen. Thanks for being here. Um, it's not really like my thing to sit in front of people and talk. I'm a quiet person. So it's I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to sit here and like talk to people that I can't see. Hot you too. Hot hot. I had fun doing this. I didn't really know what to expect. Good night, Simon. Addy Pickle, you're terrible at being an asshole. And Betty Bunny is the best. People, we all need love. We need love. Love is. I had an epiphany one time. Sometimes I feel like God speaks to me. I'm not in like voices or anything. I just get hit with this idea. And one day I was outside on break at work, and the idea hit me. And it's very simple, and I think we all should know it. With all, and it goes back to aliens and our government and things that are going on. I believe the greatest power that we have against the forces that be, that are the evildoers in the world, is love. And that if we stop the division and we love each other, it's our greatest strength as human beings is love. And there's so much that we could do as a people on this in this world if we put aside certain differences, because in the end we are all the same, we're all alike, we all want the same things. It was a good night, Anna. It was. It is really so true. And when they say like, you're not united, we stand; divided, we fall. I always thought like, yeah, that's true. I didn't think much of it, but it is. It's so true, and that's why I think we are intentionally being divided, because it weakens us when we are fighting amongst each other. Then things can go on without us really like doing much about it. But for sure, that's our as human beings, that's our greatest strength is the bond we have as humans. And it doesn't matter what religion skin color, whatever lifestyle you choose, we are all, I think we all kind of want the same things, and love is important. So we made it almost 2.5 hours, and I got no complaints from the neighbors. It's probably because it's a little chilly tonight out, and he probably has his windows closed. I don't think he likes air conditioning, so when it's warm, he opens his windows, and then he doesn't want smoke in his house. Oh, what do you mean a real live stream? And they're all real. There's no a fakeness here. It's all a real. I am the real deal. But you missed it. You missed all the good stuff there, Noodles. You missed all the talk about aliens, multi dimensions, PCP, or what else would he talk about? Midnight Oil. We talked about wimpy rock bands. Um, but yeah, it's getting late, and I'm gonna be shutting this down here. I'm gonna be shutting it down very soon. I don't know if I should hose down that fire or not. I just don't want to make a big smoke show for my neighbors. Yeah, finally, something worth watching. Besides all of it. Adios, Timmy Mustache. It's been good hanging with you all, and hose it. Should we do that? Should we do it? Should we make the? I guess it's just like, do I let it smoke all night, or do I just go with one big smoke show? That was a terrible idea. Whoever thought of that? That's that's a lot of smoke. I know you can't see it, but it was pretty bad. So I thank you all for keeping me company tonight. All right, thanks, Noodles. Thanks for dropping by, and I'll keep that in mind. I appreciate that. I appreciate the kind words. It's still smoking anyway. Like, I don't know. All right, folks, how are we gonna end this now? It's kind of weird. I feel like I should be singing you all good night, but I got nothing. Got nothing left. All right. Um, I will see you all next week. Have a great night. Have a great week. May God bless you. I love you. I appreciate you. No, I'm not gonna sing. I'm not gonna sing tonight. Joni, thanks for being here, as always. The beautiful Joni Potwood from Kentucky. All right, take care, everybody. That's all I have to say. Take care and love one another. Love one another. That's the answer. I still don't know the question, but love is the answer.